Children of the world, parents of the world, this is for you. I'm Rowena.
And I'm April. We are best friends and moms to 5 young athletes and sisters to Olympic champions. We have a mission to inspire our kids
and your kids through the stories of champions.
Who am I? I am a champion. Who am I? I am a champion. Who am I? I am a champion.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are in it. We are in it with you guys, this champion journey. You know, I was thinking about our vision for this podcast in the very beginning, how we basically started it because there was a need in our own family for our own kids with big dreams. And
it's so rad that we're doing it. I mean, because it really is exactly what we were hoping for, and it's working. Like if these guys are really listening, it's really working for them. So I love it.
I know. And anyway, we're going to kind of talk about some of the things we've learned through doing some of this stuff with our kids and through listening to the episodes and what we can maybe pass on and help you guys with. So we want to talk about that 7-minute visualization episode that I did. So I ran through it with my son Lion the other day, and after 20 seconds, he was like, I'm done. I visualized my goal. And I was like, wait a second. What do you mean you're done? Didn't you hear all my prompts? Like my prompts are telling you what to visualize. So I had to actually break it down for him. And it worked like a charm. Like he had such a good experience after he listened and broke it down. So that's what we're going to do for you guys now. But Abe, I'm so encouraged because we began this for our kids, and we're like, well, if we're doing it for our kids, we might as well do it for other people's kids. And we are it just feels, I guess my point is, it's making me do the things with my kids that I've known I've needed to do forever, but just have put off because there's just no urgency. But what we're doing, because it's not just about us, so it's like a bigger picture thing, it forces us to do it. And I'm just so happy.
Well, it also just makes us really remember how important it is, because any of this stuff, you guys, is just as easy to do as not to do. And we all know that success is not taking the easy road. And even though these things are easy to do, it really is the person that's doing them every day. That is the hard road, is following those things where it's hard to do. But it's like, okay, how long every day is it going to take you to do a visualization, do your journaling, do your affirmations, all the things? Not long at all. But you guys all probably know that it's really easy to do and really easy not to do. So that's what has happened prior to doing this with our kids. And now it's like, okay, wait, we know how important this is and it does work. So let's do it. And so that's what's been really fun about this. It's really making us do the things we know we need to do.
Yeah, it makes me think about, I actually was showing one of the girls that I'm coaching right now in skiing the video that Visa did about Julia, your sister. And I was like, because I've been encouraging her to draw something for her vision board, what her goals and dreams are. And that is such a fun, easy exercise, but I bet you 1% of kids actually do it.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, basically when Julia was about, I think, 9 years old, she turned a picture of a famous ski racer over, and on the back of it, she drew her own poster of herself winning all of these Olympic medals. And so it's like a picture of her skiing, and then it's all the medals, and it's so amazing because it's literally her visualizing and, having something to look at every day of her dreams. And it was so cool because when she won her gold medal, they made it into a commercial, and you just have to Google it and watch it. And we're going to post it on our Instagram as well, so you can see it there too. But it's just, it's the little things that you might think don't make a huge deal, but they actually do. They actually are more important than you think. So let's do them.
Yeah. So we're going to give you some real life examples. So I'll use my son Lion, for instance. He has a lot of goals with his biking right now. And one of them, which is a really big far off dream, is to be on the Red Bull team. And that's the one that he visualized, and it took him 20 seconds. And so what I worked through him with that is what would have to happen in all the years leading up, because he's 9 right now. And so it's going to take a lot of years for that to happen. And so we'll talk about this example. April will talk about another example, and then whatever. And I would encourage you to not just have one goal that you visualize. Like, yeah, sure, do that every day, but also have some smaller goals along the way that you do the same process with. So I'm going to give you a big goal right now, like long down the track. And so, for instance, when when you're listening to the visualization episode, when I say, bring up that big dream, and I give you the prompts like, how would you think? Imagine if you were certain you got the dream, how would you think? You wouldn't be second guessing yourself because you're certain of the outcome, right? You'd be saying positive things to yourself. How would you hold yourself? And when I think about like your posture and how you hold yourself, I just think of people who have done what I want to do, and how do they walk? How do they look? How do they speak? How do they think? And you just basically bring that within yourself. Or if you've ever done anything you're really proud of, or done something that you didn't think you could, you just like dig into that feeling. So for instance, with Lion, I gave him a few examples. Like for instance, this summer he has a few big competitions he's going to enter, and he posts his videos on Instagram. And I said, this journey to becoming a member of the Red Bull team is going to mean you're winning things, you're being noticed, like people notice you as a person because you're a showman, like that is like one of his talents. And so I said, maybe you could visualize an Instagram post where someone from Red Bull comments, like you're starting to be, and that could be in your visualization. Then maybe another year down the track, you could visualize when you're on a podium at an event you're entered for. Maybe there's a Red Bull team manager there, a local Red Bull team manager who gives you a wink or gives you a thumbs up or says, good job, Lion. And in your visualization, you can be like, he knows my name. So those kind of things. And maybe you have a goal that's very different. It's about like actually winning an Olympics or winning an X Games or playing pro basketball, or, whatever goal it is, you can transfer these kind of images for your own goal. So another example I gave, Lion actually came up with this for himself. So if you're a parent or a coach listening, I would just kind of have a conversation with the kid about their dream and just kind of ask them questions and help them think of things. He said that he visualized being invited to this invite-only event. And that means like you're on the way on the world scale. Another thing he visualized was being on the podium and his friends like spraying him with like celebratory drink. I don't know what he was thinking, but he said, they sprayed me with drink. I'm like, sweet. Put that in there. So we went through the 7-minute visualization again after this conversation. And he was so joyful and so happy. He was like, Mom, oh yeah, I get it. It was so much better now. Thanks so much. So, if you're listening right now and you're not quite getting it, I just encourage you to just keep practicing these things. And if you're a parent supporting your young champ, just keep asking questions and keep it, like visualization, like we say, it's a skill. It's not just going to happen easily overnight. And eventually you'll get so good, like Robbie Madison. What did he say, Abe, in our interview? I remember...
Well, we've had a bunch of different people that have, I remember Billy Kemper and Paige Alms both said, even Kai Lenny said that when they rode these big waves for the first time in like real life, that it was so real because they had visualized it so specifically that they couldn't determine the difference between the visualization and the actual thing that happened. And the same thing, how Kai Lenny was talking about, his visualizations are so intense that he even gets the body sensation. So he will start breathing really fast. His heart rate goes up. He starts sweating. So you can visualize a big goal like winning something, or you can really also visualize the specific moment where you're doing the actual thing that's going to, help you win this. Maybe you're a soccer player. Maybe you visualize yourself, getting the goal into the top right corner every time, or whatever it is. Like you can visualize very specifically the action, which is kind of, which is another amazing thing to visualize. And the other thing that we really encourage you to visualize is you all know or you have a pretty good idea probably of what it's going to take to achieve those goals. And so breaking down what that means on a daily basis and visualize yourself doing that, because it's amazing to visualize the end goal. And we definitely encourage you to do that. But we don't want to just put it out there, the end goal, and visualize that. We all know the hard work that it's going to take. So maybe I'll give you an example for that I have the specific for Jet is that he knows that for his hitting for baseball, he has, there's like this 45-minute thing that he goes through, and there are all these very specific hitting drills. And he was taught them from somebody. And if you don't know things like this, you can always reach out. There's so many things online. There's so many great places to find this kind of stuff, but he was able to find this like 45 to an hour kind of hitting thing. And he goes every day outside. And I'm not going to sit here and act like my kid's perfect, because that's definitely not true. There are many days that he doesn't do it. But when he has his goal in his mind of what he wants to achieve, he knows what it's going to take. And so he's out there doing those things on a daily basis, but then he'll slack, right? He'll stop doing it. And once he stops doing it one day, then it goes 3 days, and all of a sudden it has been a while. Well, one way to get yourself to really get back into it, or even to help you achieve your goal, your final goal that you have, is visualize yourself doing that thing every day. And it's not like you have to go through this like 45-minute thing in your head, visualizing that to get to, but like just visualize the hard work, visualize the work that it's going to take for you to get the goal that you're going for, because the more you do that, the more it will tell your mind like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And so anytime that you're like, forget to do it, or, decide, oh, maybe today I'm just going to not do it today or whatever. Like, you guys all know, you've heard all of these stories from like Michael Jordan and all of these stories, right? They all say like, I'm not the best. I was never the best. I just outworked everyone. And so that's what we want you to visualize too, is what it's going to take to get to those places, because it will make you do those things more.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, I didn't actually realize this when I was a younger athlete and visualizing. I would feel a little bit guilty if like a negative thought came in, or a feeling that wasn't all positivity and winning. But it's actually a really good thing to visualize, like April was saying, the process of everything you'll go through. And there's going to be fear, and there's going to be doubt, and there's going to be boredom, and there's going to be frustration, and there's going to be all these things. So if that comes up in your journey of visualizing, that's fine. Just like feel it, know that that's a normal part of any champion's journey, and move through it towards the positive feelings that you desire. And that's the whole point of us encouraging you to really like get in the moment, get in the feeling with these images first, because when you can step into the feeling, like April was saying, these surfers have talked to us about, your mind doesn't understand the difference between reality and your body already knows. And it's actually, I remember maybe Tora mentioned this in her episode, I can't remember, but when she had a ton of concussions and brain injuries before this Vancouver Olympics, where she won the gold medal, I remember she was like out. She was in a dark room for weeks and weeks. I think it was maybe 10 weeks even, not training, not even like physically lifting weights to be strong. She was just had to rest, and no noise, no light. And she said she just visualized. And I don't know how long for. We'll have to check in with her, or like what exactly she was visualizing. But I know she was visualizing the process in a run, because she couldn't train. So she was visualizing training. So that's like a tip to remember. And if you are like my 8-year-old, I haven't had as great success with him as I have with Lion. I just, but I'm not pushing it. So if you're a parent and your kid's not doing it like we say our kids are, don't worry, just let it go, come back again another time, and just keep it fun somehow. Maybe have an earning system. I don't know what works for your families. But the other thing April and I were talking about is, this podcast is about, it's for kids with big dreams and families and coaches and whatever who support them. But the best way to support your child is to be the example, have a goal of your own, do this yourself, tell them what you're doing, what you're working towards. And it doesn't have to be a huge goal. It could be a goal of you want to have 3 days straight where you don't yell at your kids.
It really is like, we all know that they all mimic us for the good or for the bad. And so it's not a do as I say, not as I do. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to show you this is what is going to be good for you. But we all know that this is good for us too. There's plenty of things for us as parents to be visualizing. And if they see you, journaling and visualizing, they're going to start feeling like, okay, this is something I should start doing too. So if you are kind of feeling like this would be great for them, but I'm not really having a great time getting them to do it, just don't push it, let it go and start doing it yourself every morning, every night, whatever. And they'll see you and then they'll get curious, and that will lead into them, doing it too. I know this works really amazingly for us with our words of affirmation and all the things, our goal setting and all the things. So, just a little tip that might help you along the way too.
Totally. Real life example. So my kids just go up and down, and I've been playing the affirmations episode, 5-minute affirmations in the car for them, usually on the way to school to just set the day up right. And lately they just do not want to do it along with me, probably because it's boring. Like to do it every day, same thing every day, freaking boring. I'm bored too. Like
easy, just as easy to do as not to do, right?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, every time I do it, I feel so much better afterwards. It doesn't make sense because it's just like going through the motions, but it makes me feel so good and my day gets set up so much better. So I just put it on and I just say it out loud myself. I just do it by myself and my kids are just there like, oh.
I love it. Well, you guys, we feel like this is hopefully going to really help you understand how to visualize and to continue to work on your visualization. There's no right or wrong way. It really is just getting to the practice of it. And hopefully this is just help in the right direction to help guide you to at least understand like what it is and really get started doing it.
Yes, I just have a few more things to add that I forgot about helping you through like your goals. So April, we were talking about this before, but like what makes you feel good? Like what lights you up? What's your love languages, And maybe you don't know that as a kid yet. Maybe if you're a parent of a child, you don't know your kids' love languages yet. And that most kids have them all, truthfully. So for instance, Lion's goal, I said, one of the love languages is time, like spending time with the people you love. And I was like, well, if you were getting to the point where you were good enough to be noticed by Red Bull and on the Red Bull team, like you're good, you're really good. And that means you can sit at the table with these other champions you've been watching and idolizing and wanting to be like. So imagine riding with them. Doesn't have to be a competition, doesn't have to be, you're literally like hanging with these guys that you've been looking up to. That's like spending time, that kind of love language. Maybe you are hearing words from a coach or a parent, or sometimes it could be a doubter. Sometimes I love this. I love it if someone's told you like, oh, not many people go pro in baseball, or hardly anyone goes pro in golf, or April, you have so many examples of people telling your kids these things when they tell them their dreams, right?
Yeah, so it drives me crazy. Just like that Serena Williams movie that you were talking about the other day. It's like, never tell a kid they can't do something, because there's absolutely no reason for every single one of you to not believe that you can do anything that you want to do, because you absolutely can. So if anybody tells you that, you just look them in the eye and say, watch me.
Yep. And then in your visualization, you can bring that person back in at the end when you've done it. And they're just like, visualize whatever you want. But
you were right.
Yeah, exactly. Visualize people saying things that you want to hear. Basically, that's what affirmations. Maybe it's like, maybe you just love affection and cuddles, and maybe you're visualizing your coach putting you on their shoulders because they're just like, after some kind of victory that you want. I mean, there's tons and tons of examples. Maybe you are, did Julia get bonuses for winning gold medals, Abe?
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys, the point is just get as specific as you can, because the more specific that you can be, the better. And this goes back to our episode about journaling where we talked about this, about your winning image story, and getting as specific as you can with details, because those things actually really do matter. It's the same thing with this visualization, and those two go hand in hand. So just thinking about really specific things that you see for yourself. I love it. I can't wait to see you guys and hear your just how this is working for you. So keep messaging us. We love it. And we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.